even at, this last, or just the week before, she was playing games with Garrett. Garrett was showing her Beyblades. He played Beyblades. And Garrett would say, Grandma, let me show you how to do this. And puzzles. She'd play wiffle ball, baseball.
We never had to check the weather report this
Oh no, she'd call up and ask what the weather was.
Oh, up there. Then she would tell us.
First thing out of her mouth.
How's the weather up there?
And, yeah, another thing is she do special things for the grandkids. I mean, I'm speaking for Garrett here, but I know she did it for all of them. She enjoyed having them over, and Garrett loved being over there. And they're kind of like buddies. And then she would also take them out for picnics when the weather got nice. Get in the gator, get a picnic basket, and had a special spot where they went for a picnic. Out in the, I don't even know where it was, too.
Probably one of the little buildings out back.
No, it's not by the pine trees. They had this little special spot where you have the picnics.
What you, Bobby?
If I wasn't in church for 2 weeks,
She'd give him a call.
no, she'd drive in the driveway.
So you saw her a lot, didn't you?
She was just good.
She really took care of Bob. Before he was 3 months old, she was wheeling him in a buggy. She really was.
So she always was the little Ronnie.
Yes, she was. Changed his clothes a couple times a day. My mother never said nothing.
She talked a lot about you guys.
I paid no attention to
it.
it.
And heard about everything, Oh, Judy, they're out there playing tennis and
Email was a good thing.
Computer was her nightlife for the past 5 years. Go by there late at night and see her downstairs on the computer. Well, she was always a meticulous housekeeper, which I kind of vowed that I wasn't going to follow because I was going to take care of my kids and play with them and head for the house. But I remember one Christmas we were going back to school and I had received a new Schaefer's pen, and of course I had misplaced it, and I was kind of upset. And so I said, before I went to school, I didn't find it that night. Well, in the morning, there it was, ready for me to take to school with me because she had found it because she had cleaned the house. Picked everything up because she always did. She always picked up everything at night.
Yeah, what'd you say about this?
All I
Best
got-
lunches, or you talked about them in the hospital?
Yeah,
Well,
we're talking about,
she put
we went
special
for the
treats
best
in there.
lunches in school.
The kids always wanted their lunches.
I had bologna and
Oh, I remember it was. Wasn't it? You only was it a half a sandwich?
Definitely.
One piece of meat, or
One piece of bread.
One piece of bread.
Split in
you didn't
half.
need any more than that.
Right, we didn't eat a lot.
That's
That's
why
why
Mary's
we're
so
also-
small. We
yeah.
starved her.
Yeah, everybody took Mary's food.
But I had a dill pickle.
I didn't like those.
Oh, she knew each one. Once in a while,
Get
something
mixed up.
mixed
We
up.
always had
Yeah.
our initial on our lunch bag. Sitting all on the bottom.
I like mustard. I had
I
mustard.
always got a Hostess cupcake in mine.
Yeah, we never got those at all.
But remember
You
that
go straight in the path of your mom. You always
Nancy
made us the
never went to
lunches.
school, see,
Or
when
when
I
we
was
did
getting
that was
lunches,
right,
so.
right.
She only had the most of four.
I don't know who liked mustard, but if she cut their sandwich before she cut mine, I did not like the taste of the mustard.
This is from the person, as I said, who got the Chevelle. I keep reminding her of that. I mean,
Yes.
you got hostess, she got a Chevelle. So.
I deserved it.
One other thing as we were growing up when we got the pool, I never saw her outside sitting by the pool. Very rarely. It was always in the house doing laundry.
But she always brought us lemonade and cookies.
Yeah, but
Lemonade and cookies
in the afternoon, she's always come out with punch. Usually it's that grape and lemon mixed together, and cookies for there, and there's usually a flock of kids swimming.
Cookie time at the pool.
In the
Yeah,
pool,
because we
too.
just did swimming lessons, we had to show her what we learned. On our way home from Chicago the last time, I was talking to her about, you know, life when we were growing up, and she said, every Friday night, she said we'd have company. And I remember that, we'd say company, you know, sometimes it would be their little gang, and sometimes it would be another family, but you guys remember that, having company over on Friday night?
Oh, yeah.
She did, they would.
But she always said Dad always wanted all
Dad,
these people
yeah.
always, and she sometimes was a
She'd
little
say,
put
I
out
just
by
have
that.
to, she says, you know.
There was so
Well, by
much
the
work.
time I came into the family, it was Fred and much taking us to out to dinner all the time. I mean, you know, I'd come over, well, where we gonna go? Brown's family? Yeah. Up in Plainwell. I mean, that was a favorite place. And then all of a sudden he'd find some little place over in Richland or Orangeville or all these little
Oh, yeah,
back.
we did that a lot.
Yeah, he'd find these little restaurants and so the whole family would go, you know. And that was fun.
But Dad loved to have everybody over and Mom did all that. What do you remember?
Not too much.
Living in the house over there next to,
Well, when we was 23 years ago, she was always chewing me out because of riding her bicycle, because I would tear it up. And then she kept us informed in Florida all the time, what was going on here. And when we came here, we'd have to get on that John Deere and go for a ride out in the back fields here.
Gator, yeah.
Yeah, the Gator.
Yeah.
What about Grandma Wisdom? Either saying, not the one that I've been hearing from the Peanut Gallery back there.
If you're not Dutch, you're not much. That was a,
If you're Dutch, you're not much.
yeah, that's right.
If you think you're it, you're knit.
That was one of my
have a
favorites.
What?
If you think you're it, you're knit. That was
We have a whole
one.
printout of all her things.
She
You
said
know,
that all the
she
time.
always said that. No, if you think you're it, you're knit. And I remember when I was in BSF one time, and I remember, where is that in Colossians or someplace, we were doing a thing, and I called her, special, and I said, Mother, I never realized that. What, you know, you think you're it, you're knit, because it says he who thinks you are something is nothing, wherever that is. I said, that's biblical. I never knew that. I remember calling her special, telling her that. It was a new revelation.
And your sins will
That's,
find you
yeah,
out.
that's the other one, your sins will find out. She had all those written down, you know.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
she?
yeah, I typed them all in today.
She never would say I love you.
Then she had a lot of
She's
these-
not an I love you person.
No,
But she'd say I love you a bushel and a peck. But she would never just say I love
And
you.
her emails never do either.
Never
You're
loved,
always
no.
just,
Facts.
Yeah.
Grandma, well, but I mean, like, that's all for me and Grandma.
how's the weather?
She never signed a love Grandma, she just, we should send you little care packages at school in Kentucky and
Oh, yeah, she's always
We're
got,
excited about the weather.
the grandkids got a lot of stuff from her.
I got that care package is even going when I used to go to Wisconsin. She, she used to pack.
Mommy's coming.
I go to Wisconsin, she'd pack a little, you know, like peppermints and mints in the car, juice box. She'd have it in the cooler and it's, oh jeez.
No.
Bill Knapp's cake for at night or cookies.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
rarely did you go home empty-handed after eating something at her house. She was always,
We used to go to the Civic quite often
Yeah.
during the season.
Really?
Always go out to dinner at night, and then when I'd come home, we'd have coffee and cookies. And every time I'd go home from there, I'd always have a chili dinner or some sort of a lasagna or something else that she'd have special, and she would give it to me. They were good too.
You were supposed to go the first
Yeah,
Friday.
we were.
You were supposed to go
We
to
were.
the Friday. Friday.
In fact, we were going to the Civic on Friday, and of course.
She was in the hospital.
Uncle John, how long ago did Aunt Marion die?
22 years.
22 years.
Yeah.
See, his wife died 22 years ago, and Grandpa died 27 years ago. So.
Yeah.
5 years, yeah.
Well, we know that because we have two babies here that were babies that, are Jessica and Steve. So however old they are, that's how old, that's what Grandpa died.
And I usually have lunch with my uncle on Mondays, every Monday.
So I keep in tune with the family.
They kept that up.
But we used to talk quite a bit. We'd call probably every other week. One of us would call the other, find out what was going on.
She just checked on me all the time.
Or that maybe
I'm getting this picture, Bobby, of you that, you know.
She would come in the driveway and she just had little ways about it.
Tell about the time you wanted to shift the car.
Oh, gosh.
And then when my wife had back surgery, she would always be the first one there with food. But you wouldn't get fat. There'd be 2 pieces of lasagna cut in half. I thought it was for me. You know? She ate like a bird.
That was the last, the last thing, up Thursday night up in the hospital, Tessa's Garrett's birthday. We brought her up a piece of birthday cake, and Heather cut a pretty good sized piece of cake. And I brought it up there, and usually she would always say, "Oh, that's way too much. That's an awful big piece." She never said a word about it, and she ate the whole thing, which I was quite surprised.
That's right, and I had to tell Garrett that she ate the whole thing.
Ate the whole thing.
And she wanted, and she wanted some more when she got home.
So he was supposed to say something.
Yeah, we did.
And she would send you emails when it wasn't your birthday, right, Eric?
Well, that was a mix-up.
You always
Stephanie got the wrong one too. But that was, she got it written down. Like she, the same thing said.
What about, you know, if you had to think about what your mom, your grandmother would want really to happen on Monday, we've talked about what we want, we've talked about the pieces of the puzzle, but again, I want to stress here, what would Much have wanted?
A positive outlook. I mean, right?
No, I think she wouldn't want us to be
Not
poo-dooing all over her and saying all kinds of
Was that
things.
who doing?
Poo-dooing.
Oh, who doing? I was like,
Who doing?
That's Dutch. Who doing?
Making a big deal over her.
Yeah.
She never liked to be.
She liked to be included, she didn't like to be the center of the attention.
Right. Very good.
If she'd have seen us all looking at her up there at that hospital, she would ask us, what the heck are you guys doing? Why ain't you working?
She just said, go home.
Yep.
So she told me Thursday night.
Oh.
I went up there and that was, gosh, well, after Garrett's birthday, because Heather said, you go up to the hospital and see your mom. I'll put the kids to bed. So I went up there and she told me she, ate the cake and she, got out of bed, hugged me, and said, now you go home and take care of your flock. And that's what she wanted. Just
so positive.
Yeah.
Yep. Or what else? What else would she?
She liked to think when we laughed. I think she liked when we had fun.
And she would want other people, if people were there that weren't saved, she would want something said to them, that was very important, that to reach the unsaved, I guess.
You did that at Bill American's funeral very well.
She worked very long and hard for many years, keeping this a close family, and she would want it to continue.
So, coffee, 4 o'clock.
For the rest of your life.
Somebody has to have coffee.
Even Garrett says that.
Oh, Garrett is trained.
Training.
It's genetics.
Yes,
3:35, his alarm is going off. Or that coffee's
And you
coming.
always wash your own car too, you don't go to car wash. We all wash our own car.
On
She
Saturday.
washed her, on Saturday, you always go to church
Nothing
with a
on
clean car on Sunday.
She had a serious side when we had to put our mother in the nursing home. That was hard. Wasn't it, June?
Yeah,
That's why I think she
And
was.
she did not wanna do that herself. She did not
No,
wanna
she did
end
not
up
wanna be an
in the-
inconvenience to
She didn't
anyone.
wanna do it for her mother either.
Anna.
I mean, think about it, I took her to, she comes over, drives over to my house, tells me to take her to the hospital, tells me not to stay, just to drop her off, because you got dinner going, your laundry room's full of laundry, you get back home and take care of that, don't worry about me.
And take my car.
And my car's in the driveway running, so we'll just take my car. That was, just, don't worry about me, just because the doctor said, don't drive is the only reason I was asked to drive.
Take care of your own crew.
Yeah,
That's what
take care of
basically her
Don't, yeah,
theory
did not
was.
want to inconvenience.
Don't inconvenience, she didn't wanna be inconvenience anybody, just take care of your own crew.
What about if I would ask, and again, I'm not one of those people that likes to go around the room, I've never done it very well. But I like as much input as I can. You know, I'm gonna pick on you first, George, because you're to my left. Okay, don't pick on you right now, alright. I'm picking on you, Nancy, yeah. What do you want to happen on Monday? What's most important to you to have happen, to take place, to
I look forward to Tuesday morning, I just want to over with.
Okay, but that wasn't the question. The question was Monday.
Okay, I'll say the word I'm looking for, dignified.
Yeah,
She
will like
was a
this to be
classy dresser,
She
she
was.
liked, and she liked tradition, she liked order, she didn't like chaos. I remember her coming up to our church and saying, the kids for junior church, when we had them, at that time, they all kind of ushered down with, the usher. And so the usher would go first, and then all the little kids would follow in such order.
That's not my son.
Yeah, and she always thought, you know, that's the way it should be. They should all just follow along like that. They don't all have to run down there. She liked that dignified look. Now, I'm not saying we have to be over dignified because, everything's more casual than what it used to be. But she was a dignified person.
Thank you. I'm not letting you off the hook, Nancy.
You didn't give him an answer.
You just talked about Tuesday. I'm talking about Monday.
She wanted it very well planned. She didn't run by the seat of her pants, okay? She planned things. She planned meals, she planned, to have gas in her car, she planned, she was always concerned. So she would like it very well planned. So, when we make good plans, she'll like it.
She did that.
But not showy.
I think she did
What's that?
like
Not showy, just very well organized.
people making a spectacle, but she was honored when people did. Like she would, like her 70th birthday, that surprise party.
Oh, yeah.
She would have, if you would have said, we're gonna do this for you, she would have said no, 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 no. But when we went ahead and did it, and she went, I think that was very, very, she was very honored that we would love her enough to do something very, very special for her like that.
Well, sure, because she liked to go
She
to
would
her.
say all day and night that she didn't want it or like it, but if it happened, she appreciated it and felt honored by it.
Yeah, that's very true, because she liked to go to their breakfast, their breakfast ladies and say, my kids did this, or something like that, because the other ones did that, and
Or not.
Janet, what
She
about
never
you?
talked about Nancy then, did she?
So like for this whole thing Monday, yeah, she would say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But if it's a very special, dignified thing, she would be very honored by it.
Yeah, she'll be very proud that her grandchildren designed the program.
Right,
And then she
exactly.
would take that to the coffee group and show them. That's what
She's very proud, I think, of all of us.
Of their talents.
Yeah.
Even yours, Travis.
Huh?
Even yours.
HR.
I think she was very graceful. And Nancy might disagree with this, but, and some of you kids might, but I don't think she showed favoritism. You know, we hoot on her a little bit about that, but she loved all of her kids and her grandkids equally. There was no, she was so proud of each one for who they were. And one of the things that made her the most happy, I think, is when she saw each one of them walking into the Lord. You know, when they would, you know, if it was going to be a baptism or a baby dedication, she was always very excited to go and see that.
And what about Monday for you?
For Monday, I think if we can honor her with grace and be servants to her, as she's always been such a servant to us. Jeff's wife made that comment that this is our time to honor her. I think it is.
Just like when she was in the hospital, we said, we'll take care of you, Grandma. You just wake up, even if you're not totally, you know, who you were, we'll still take care of you. You took care of us, we'll take care of you.
Gus?
Yeah, just, you know, she just was just a very loving and caring mother. I think that's what needs to be known about her. She did so many little things that even we don't know about for people. I mean, if it was, like Dick said, that, you know, one day giving them bus fare for a bus, or buying a shirt for someone, or a pair of shoes for somebody, that she'd do that all the time. And that's the kind of lady she was.
Was that
She
your
just,
bus fare to get out of town?
she
No.
was a loving. She would look at people and say,
No.
well, that little kid or that something, they need some new shoes. And she'd get the shoes for them. And we never, a lot of those times we never knew about it. You know, she just did it. And I'm sure that lots of people that would be there that would know that she had just done those things or helped them out in some way. You know, by doing the wash or financially a little bit, whatever, you know, she would help people, very helpful. And, yeah.
Mary?
Yeah, what I want Monday to
A celebration.
be. Just a celebration of her life.
What about anybody else? I mean, I think brothers, sisters, in-law, but, I mean...
She would not, you guys have had a lot of fun here today. She would not like if this got outside of this room. She was a fun person, but she would say, now that wasn't necessary to say at her service.
Oh,
That's-
she wouldn't want
oh.
other people to know that.
That's
okay.
right.
What she did, yeah, and what she meant.
We had a lot of fun with her when our gang got together. We had a lot of fun, but it was carried on there, never went any further. I've heard comments from her about some of the silly things that go on. They didn't have to do all of that, she would say. This is the older generation speaking.
What else? Anything else? I mean, anything else I need to know before I walk out of here?
She liked holidays. We could have a garage sale for every holiday with all the stuff in the house.
But she liked the navy.
I wonder why. Jeez.
John has a box there, a big box, that's just John.
Yeah.
Her and John right there. Right off California coast.
Very supportive.
That's a good, she was very
Supportive.
But of all you kids, all you grandkids, she was,
Yeah.
no matter what
Everybody.
you were doing.
Well, the nice thing is she knew all of our special, whatever,
Yeah.
gifts, and she,
She sat through power with you.
Yeah, she-
The
yeah.
whole week.
Well, there was sending John an email when he was overseas, or when I was at Louisiana, I would get little shoe boxes with goodies in it and $20. It says, here, go buy yourself a sandwich or something, you know, you don't have to eat cafeteria food. Yeah, just little things like
Sandwich
that.
only.
She never did that for me.
Yeah. Well, she knew what you would buy.
Okay.
anybody can drink, it takes a man not to.
That's-
Yes,
Anybody can.
anybody can drink, but it takes a man not to. She wrote that on everybody's card when they turn 21.
Yep.
And nobody listened to her.
I did.
I'm gonna ask one question, or I guess maybe it's permission, one question, just because after I sat here and listened to all this, if it turns out and I work from something other than Ecclesiastes 3, are you gonna be heartbroken?
Because I think you can hear.
Okay. I mean, that's part of what I wrestle with, so, and that's one of the pieces of the order of worship that you will not have, so. Okay, it will be orderly and it will be, but I'm not sure yet. And when I sit here and I listen to all this, I gotta be open to what God tells me to do, so, I appreciate that flexibility I got.
The doily.
Oh, yeah, the doily.
When you
Yeah.
finally got the doily, you knew you were in, right, Erica?
Right.
Yeah. I said,
And there
Erica,
I
you're. Well, that was the happiest I'd seen her. Actually happy and, you know, more like she was previous, but the last year she was tough on her.
And I made a list of all the positives, did I tell you that?
Yeah.
All the positives about her dying early.
I mean,
And there are so many.
in a lot of respect to her, I mean, you know, Dennis and I get up and walk, and I said it to him again this morning, I said, you know, if I could eat anything I want, have my family around me, live in my house my whole life, and live to 83 plus years old, and then the Lord take me home, I'll take that deal. I'll take that deal, you know, and I think she knew that, I really do. Yeah, I really do. think
But
she
you
knew that.
gotta eat, what is it, peanut butter and dry toast?
Yeah, burnt dried toast. Yeah.
That's where
Yeah, or
You know,
And
we-
it's twice.
With strawberry jam.
That's wrong. I like rye toast on the dark side with a little bit of peanut butter.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things to this whole last 2 weeks is when I walked into her room on Friday morning of surgery, I heard her talking to Paul, and she said, it's all in the Lord's hands now. And those words rang through the whole day on Friday, and they rang through the whole week, and they still ring through today, that she knew that this was all in the Lord's hands. And if your mom can go out saying it's all in the Lord's hands, that's gotta be the biggest comfort for a family, to know that this was God's sovereign plan for her life. And we've got great memories, and we had a great mom, and life goes on tomorrow, but, you know, she's made a big imprint on all of our lives.
All right, the other rule I have is if you think of anything, call me. Okay, don't email me, call me, all right? Only because right now it's, yeah, I do have a cell phone now again, but,
birthday! Whose birthday is it?
Oh, very
Did you sing
good.
happy birthday to your mommy? Clap, clap, Andrew.
Good job.
Andrew, did you think it was your, or yeah, did you think it was your birthday today?
Those ones that start again, if you